Hey YouTube, it's Cutt here and we're bringing you another one. Yes, I got a giggle with Google. Oh yes, I got a gig with Google. I am so hype about this project. It took me away from everything, okay? For like 4 months, okay? I didn't have anything on Instagram. I didn't have anything anywhere because I was creating this stuff. Anyway, I'm glad it's done. It's a big project and I'm excited to share it with you guys. If you didn't get a chance already, click right here. You can see all the 100 pieces in color order. You might not be able to feel it, but it's in color order, okay? In color order, and it's all 100. So if you want to check it out, click right here and watch the slideshow. Also, soon I'm doing a top 20 of my favorites. Now, I like a lot of them, but there are a good 20 that was like, I gotta put them in order and then rate them from my least to most favorite out of the 100 inside of that 20. Make sure you like, subscribe, push that notification button because we're going to keep bringing this stuff to you. So this is how it came about. So Emmanuel is actually a person that follows me on Instagram. I don't know how he connected with me or I don't know how. And I was just sharing my Patreon out to people like, oh, hey, you should check out my Patreon. Here's the link, da, da, da. So I was sending it out. If you want to check out my Patreon, click the link below. Also, my Discord is open to everyone now. So also go ahead and join my Discord so you can know what's going on. So I sent it to him like, hey, you should join my Patreon. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. But actually, I might have something for you. Let's schedule a meeting, next Friday, which was like a week from that time. I didn't think anything of it. I meet with clients often. So I just kind of wait to see. Actually, it's weird because usually I would be like, oh, what are you trying to do? I didn't even ask. I was just like, okay, So the next week comes, and actually I thought it was going to be a Zoom meeting because I'm like, everybody does Zoom meetings. So I was waiting for the email. So I was actually late. I was early. I was ready, prepared and ready, but I was late because I was like, what, they going to send the link? But then I looked again. I was like, oh, they have they did the Google Hangouts. So I'm like, okay. I still didn't think anything of it. But I didn't realize it was actually Google. It makes sense that Google would use the Google stuff. But I'm like, I was waiting for a Zoom, So he put me in touch with Miranda, who is the East Coast business manager, or I'm not exactly sure what she does. Anyway, he put me in touch with her. And let me tell you, she is awesome. We jive. How you meet people and you be like, ugh. But then you meet people and you're like, have we known each other forever? That's how we jive. And her name's Miranda, so I keep in my mind her last name is Priestley. I don't know if you saw Devil Wears Prada, but she's Miranda Priestley, but she's not. She's not Miranda Priestley. But in my brain, her name is Miranda Priestley. So she told me that she wanted to do something cool for her Google employees. And I was like, oh, that's dope. She said, maybe we can do an illustration for their profile image. I'm like, oh, that would be kind of cool. So I'm like, well, how many people are we talking about? I thought you were going to be like, 20, 30. She's like, oh, about 80 people. I'm like, okay. Yeah, and then the next day she's like, when I said 80, I meant 120. I was like, oh, okay. It actually ended up being 100 people instead of 120, but it still was more than 80. And I was like, let's do this. So I gave her the rates, they confirmed it, and then we got started. So what she did was she made a poll or a questionnaire or whatever for the employees to fill out. And she wanted it to be a surprise, so she didn't tell them exactly what was going on. She just said, all right, this is what you need to do. So I was like, all right, make sure, of course, their name and stuff, but make sure they send images of themselves, 2 to 3 images. Make sure what else did they do? Oh, and I told them to make say 2 things that you like. Oh, I like this sports team and I like this food, or I like this movie and this, whatever you like. Give me 2 different options of things you like. And I did that so that I have a little bit of freedom of choosing. Cause I feel like if it was just drawing them, I would have been done at 20 over it. But because it was themed and I got to be creative, I was done at 70. But at least I made it. I was excited for a long time until I was like, all right. I'm over it. So after they give their option, I picked my favorite and then we hit the ground running. So of course, as we expected, all of them didn't just do their information all at once. Of course, a great deal of them did pretty early, but it took a while to get everybody to put their information in. But in the meantime, at least I could get started. So basically the process was I did basically broke it down into groups of 20. So every 20, I would complete it and upload it. So basically, I would make like a reference board so that I didn't have to like sit at my computer every single person. I just collected 20 people, put their picture there, put their name there, and the reference of whatever their image is going to be, so that I could just sit on the couch and draw and not have to be like at the computer. So I did that every 20. And what I would do is after that, I do the sketch. I sketch everything instead of like sketching one at a time. I sketch all 20. I go back. I color block all 20. I go back. I ink all 20. I go back. I do the backgrounds for all 20. I go back. I mean, this is basically like animation, so that's why it doesn't seem crazy to me. And then I go back, I color it, and once they are done, then I upload it and do that process again for every 20 images. So we actually made it to 96 people. So you're like, well, how is it 100? You said it's 100. So this would made it 100 because it was 96. And then Miranda, so, okay, I drew her like this. And she was the first person I drew. So I was still trying to figure out what style I'm going to go, how I want it to look. And also she didn't even know what direction I was going to go. So, and it's cool. I like it. But then it was like, she was like, yeah, but everyone else's is cooler. I need another one. I need one. I'm like, yeah, no problem. She's like, well, I like cereal. I was like, oh, awesome. So then I redid her. So that made it 97. And then because some people didn't do it, we don't want to leave them out. We knew we needed a template design as well, like one that people can just use there. So I did a template one, which is this, which I like a lot. But she also was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we can have a version where the head is cut out, where it's transparent like this. And you see how my head's in there? I didn't even plan that I'm going to do this, but now I'm doing it. My head's inside of there. That makes it, what is that? 99. And then I was like, well, technically I'm a Google employee now. Not really, but I am. Well, let me draw myself in the same style. Well, my J-Cutt character is not really me, but my J-Cutt character. And that's what makes it 100. Isn't that crazy? Amazing. So the conclusion, this was a big project. It was a big project. It came right on time. The funds came right on time for what I needed at the time. It was a great end of the year project. I'm glad to be done because it felt like I was still in 2021. That and another project I was working on. 2 big projects at the same time, which made me not work on other things. But I just managed my time and just put my priorities in order, and it was a great time. Another thing I got from this is that you got to be kind and patient. Like, be patient with your experience and be kind to the people around you, because he helped me out really for no reason. Like, Emmanuel didn't have to, literally, there was no reason. Like, I didn't do anything for him. There was no value for him to do that. But I guess just being kind and being creative inspired him to help me. And then that helps me in the long run. So I really appreciate that. And I appreciate people who do things like that for others. Don't forget, I do have a Patreon. If you click the link below, you can join the Patreon. That of course has 3 different tiers of payments, but the Discord is free. You don't have to pay for that. It's actually a great community of people who really want to know behind the scenes of what I'm doing. They want to see sneak peeks of things that just haven't come out yet, or know about certain projects that I'm working on. I'm going to be doing some NFTs soon, so they'll get the first dibs on knowing when drops are going to happen. So you might want to join the Discord down below. Don't forget, click here if you want to see the slideshow, and coming soon will be a top 20 of my favorite of all the 100. Don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification button, because we're going to keep bringing this stuff to you. I can't wait to see what's coming out. I don't even know. I mean, this was already a lot of work. I don't know what's coming out. What are you doing? I know you're not about to leave without liking or sharing or something. I know you see that red button. You better subscribe to my channel. See you soon.